Assalamu alaikum. I've been thinking about this topic recently, which has been fatherhood in the modern age. My dad worked 6 days a week. Allah yarhamu, he was a barber, full time, had his own business. Sometimes he'd work from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Even though Saturdays were like a half day, he'd still come home around 4. So we really only had Saturday night to spend with him. We'd go to some deen lessons. Sunday, we'd wake up with him and then go to the public market, getting some groceries. He'd like to buy these big boxes of fruits and vegetables back in the day. Allah yarhamu. We have a lot of great memories. He spent a lot of money on us, and he took care of us very much to make sure that we learned and were educated and traveled when we were younger. But that said, I don't have memories of my father spending every night with me, putting us to sleep, just going to my soccer games because he's always working. It was more of a limitation. It was just not doable because everything was in person. Now I think about, modern day work. For many people, it's hybrid, it's remote. And the opportunity to be a dad is much different these days. I think times have changed where now, a father can very easily put his or her kids to sleep, take half the, responsibility from the wife. Fathers can do so much more from when the kids are born. A lot of companies now offer paternity leave. We're talking about a month, 2, 3 months time off with them to be with their kids, to be full-time dads. I think that's a blessing. I think that is something that we have to be grateful for in this modern age where we can't be like the old days where it's like a father only does, providing for the family financially. We have an opportunity as fathers to be there for our kids, to actually be a parent, to build memories with them, to spend every night with them. I mean, if I think about the blessing of this, alhamdulillah, every morning I can spend time with my daughter like an hour before work. I can see her during my lunch break. After work, instead of spending 30 to 45 minutes to an hour commuting, alhamdulillah, I can just have her come to my office, play soccer with her, listen to some nasheed, do some fun activity with her. And that's my commute home in a sense to ease me finishing work and kind of going back to be with her. It's funny, one of the things she says to me every single time she sees me leave my room, my office, she says, in Arabic, Baba, inta khalas shughl, meaning like, Baba, did you finish work yet? She asks me that like at 8 a.m. in the morning when I wake up. But that question to me makes me feel sad, but also happy at the same time because she knows that in an instant, I can be there for her to spend that time. So I think my message to you today, if you're a father, aspiring or current, is realize the blessing and benefit of what you have in your disposal today, even if you have to go to an office in general, but just the reality of we don't have to generally work. I'm not trying to be tone deaf here either. Some people do have to work physical jobs, 12, 15-hour days. I get that too. But I'm saying for the majority of men in my life that I know a lot of people, most of them are working from home. Most of them are remote. Some are hybrid and they have so much more opportunity. So what I want to say is it's so much easier to be a present father nowadays. And the bar, I think, should be set way higher. Where now, as a dad, you should be putting your daughter or son to sleep multiple times a week. You should be taking that responsibility away from your wife if it's on her today. You should be able to give her time, take your kids out individually, one on one, spending that quality time. And don't just do it on the weekends. Build something in your routine where you can spend time in the morning after work and really build those quality memories with them because I wish I could do that. I wish I could have that with my father, but Allah yarhamu, he worked for 30 years providing for 6 kids, and he did so much for us that I could never pay him back for. But it's just different times back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s compared to now. If you're a father today, you have no excuse to be a fully present father that can co-parent with your wife as well and build those memories for your kids. So that's been on my mind recently. Wanted to make a quick video about that, about fatherhood in the modern time and how to take advantage of it so that you can build those memories with your kids. Assalamu alaikum.